I am so amazed and I am so proud of what I have seen. I hope you are also proud of yourselves, honestly. I keep telling people that your motivation comes from your achievements. You know, sometimes you work, you don't see what's coming out of it. And the motivation to continue begins to go down. So if you celebrate every little step that you achieve, you know, Ismail might sit there thinking, reading, they read how many? 2,000 papers. I can read 18. Hey, thank you, 18,000. Forget his 18,000. Think about yourself and what you have achieved and celebrate it. Be proud of yourselves, and I hope then that can motivate you for the next steps. Don't stop. And this this sort of work, I think one or two people or many people have said, you know, keep together. Don't forget the people you've been working with. This sort of work is very difficult to continue on your own. Yeah? It's very, very difficult to continue on your own. You might have the skill, but the opportunities to practice them might come from somebody. They might say, you know, I've been requested to prepare this. Can we work together? Can you help me? I don't have the time, or I don't have this, I don't have these resources. You know, ACAS, can you help me, you know, maybe tap into your confidence or tap into whatever. It's very difficult to continue the journey that you have come to on your own. But then also what I've noticed with this sort of community, there's a sense of community. Many people who actually don't have that sense somehow fall off, you know, but the people you will remain on this journey with are people who are willing to help you. So tap into them, work with them, but also if you see opportunities, pass them on to people, you know. Again, as you pass them on and they get better, they always reference back to you as well. So it's a, you know, give and take, and you will win. But I really hope that you see the potential that I see. I know that others are also seeing it, but I hope in each one of you, by the way, I can't even say, okay, the whole group was good, but Sefeso maybe, you know. I think that everybody really, really brought a lot to this, and I hope that you see the potential and will not sort of sit on it. There's a very, very small number of people that can do what you are doing. Even when you feel that you're not yet like at your best, at the moment, there's very few people. And I'm talking about globally. I'm not even saying Africa alone. Africa, we, like, probably you're the only ones, by the way. And I'm not even lying, you know? You're only, if we add you to the group now, there's not 100 people. So you can see the potential of getting into a space and even taking leadership, taking the space basically. There's many people who can do systematic reviews and all kinds of things. There's not many people that can do rapid reviews. You know, there's not many people that can do rapid reviews in response to policy. It's one thing to sit and think about your own malaria things and read the publications, but to do the thing thinking about yesterday, where we're critiquing each other yesterday and the other day and saying, but what does it mean for policy? What does it mean for Tanzania? How are you making it relevant for Malawi? You know, but you know, they asked about Ethiopia and you're talking about LMICs. Does it apply? It's a completely different ball game. So to be able to do it, there is not many people like yourselves. So just master it, make it better, and I can assure you that it's going to, you know, that's the space that things are going into. Before the pandemic came, one of the questions that we used to answer for a very long time, people would ask us, oh, you're talking about rapid reviews for policy. You're talking about, you know, rapid response services. But who makes policy in a hurry? Who makes policy that quick? Policy takes 6 years, 10 years, even sometimes, you know, decades and whatever. And we would really labor to explain that there will be times, there are also times currently where a policy decision has to be made in a hurry, has to be made urgently. Activating the policy is a different thing, but making the policy decision can actually be in a matter of hours or days. And we would like evidence to support that. We labored so much. Some people saw it. Some policy makers, you know, could relate to it. They're like, you know, I'm going to respond to the Parliamentary Accountability Committee, and I really need the evidence to support my new budget, which has this intervention, you know, things like that. Then came the pandemic. Ismail and Edward can tell you, and Pastor back there, they can tell you, how many questions they had to respond to in hours. I think we were kind of late for all of them because there was a need. Please, 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 what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Evidence, evidence, evidence. They sat in a hotel in, what was that? Bugolobi. Whatever that, okay, some of you might not know it. But while everybody was locked up in their houses, they were answering questions, And that's the point at which many people in the world began to see you can actually make policy in a matter of hours. 2 weeks might be late, you see. And now we are living in this era where everybody wants to answer a question immediately. A policy maker, once they have a question in their head, they actually want to be able to respond as soon as possible. Why? It might not be urgency, it might not be what, but there is that growing need for let's do things as fast as we can. Whether it's about accountability and efficiency or the general moral fabric of now, we want to be the first ones to break news, we want to be the first ones, things are going. The need for people with skills like yours is just going to grow. So just master them, okay? And even what you feel you don't know now, it doesn't matter. It comes with time. The things you've been able to achieve now, I think I learned over like 4 years or something, So even when you don't feel confident now, the more you do it, the more you do it, the more you do it, the better you become. We were speaking with Perez this morning. And, he just reminded me about how much now he now knows about a certain topic. And I remembered that in my journey as well. You become so knowledgeable about all sorts of things, And that's why you can now stand up and defend and say, but, A, B, C, and because you read it, you saw it, you become so knowledgeable. But that skill of, so you'll be able to transfer it from one place to another. We used to be comfortable in health alone. Now people stand up and talk about AI like they trained as IT people. But it just means that now you know where to go to get information. You know how to synthesize it about any topic. It's a certain skill that you'll find that you apply in so many places. So I'm saying all of this just to say that there's so much that is in your potential now. You can only realize it if you continue the journey. You realize, I can do this because of, But if it stops now, like you were saying, you put your nice shoes that you have attained, away in a wardrobe, you just won't know what those shoes can do and where they can take you. So try to continue the journey. Don't sit back on it. The opportunities are enormous. Enormous. Again, I'll give an example. There's, what is ESIC in full? Okay, so there's this group that's trying to bring the whole evidence synthesis community together to be able to sort of define the space. First of all, who are we? What do we do? What are the gaps in what we're doing, whether it's in terms of methods, capacities, whatever, okay? And this work has been commissioned by Welcome, what used to be the Welcome Trust, to be able to direct how they fund. Okay, so they released a huge amount of money, about 75 million, it might be more, 75 million pounds to be spent over the next, 6 years? Okay, several years, to fund research in evidence synthesis. But they were like, what do we need to fund? How can we prioritize? So they commissioned this work of the ESIC to be able to define that for them. Then it will define their priorities for funding. Now, the way they've done it is that they've made, different working groups to be able to work on capacity, governance, define those things for that. But let me tell you, so to be able to do that, the working groups also needed people to support them, okay? Maybe to put the thoughts together, to synthesize them, lots of thoughts. because I think the first meetings, they had to be broken into two. There were webinars. And people thought, oh, if we call people, maybe 100 people will come. It's manageable. The first one had 600 and something people. The second one, which was several hours earlier, so that it could take care of time differences. If you can make it earlier, at least you might be able to make up this one, was another 700 and so many people. Okay? Those are the numbers of people that are sort of seeing themselves doing some sort of evidence synthesis. But when it has come down to who can support the technical working groups, like you understand this stuff, so you don't just do it for the sake of doing it, but when they say capacity, who can actually understand this to be able to support the group and synthesize, because a lot of information will come, but you've got to be able to synthesize, okay, as a group, what will we take? What makes sense to take to the funder at the end of the day? I can tell you the struggle to find those people. And the insistence was on these people should come from the Global South, okay? The struggle to find people to support those groups was real. I can tell you that people in this room were the names that were coming up for every group. So it would look like, hey, have these people decided to dominate, this space? And they were not even nominating themselves. They were being nominated by people from the Global North, because we didn't know what was going on. But Wellcome was insisting we need to see the Global South represented. Same names were coming back, same names. So they requested those same people that, do you know other people that we can, get to do this work? And the truth was we would look around and we can't see. We can't see. And then, for the sake of equity, we did nominate some people. And guess what? One or two of those people have felt the heat and left the work. Okay? So I'm showing you how much there is actually potential, not with the skills that you are accumulating now, not just for our own region, but globally. They were looking globally. When they said Global South, they didn't mean Africa alone. They went into Asia. They looked into Latin America as well. Okay? So there is a lot of potential. If you're comfortable to continue the journey, try. Nothing is ever easy. But, stretch those boundaries. Like they said, people in the room, people elsewhere, we can link you up with, friends that we've been working with so that you can continue on this journey. Opportunities to try out the skills that you have and those that will grow. There's, level 2. People must be saying, I thought I had learned everything. What is that level 2? Okay? Peep there might be things. Now, this work is basically under the LIPS project, and many of you are intimately involved with it, and it basically aims to strengthen, the use of evidence in policy making in Africa. And when I see what you have achieved over the last weeks, I can say that the efforts that LIPS aims for and the investments that are being made of your time, of the tutors' time, even of the funders, I think they are really, really worth it, This is a kind of, I was saying to them, I wish we had had observers from the LIPS leadership or even a funders observer. They usually like to be in the room to really see. So all we can do is go back and report. There was capacity building and people can do, but people don't really get the gravity of it. If somebody had watched this, like from the beginning, they would really see that the efforts and their investments are really worth it. But I know that we don't have to tell them. They'll see for themselves. In another year or two, I don't think I'll have to. I'm retiring. I told them I'm retiring next year. Olive, you can take back the information also. I'm retiring next year. I think it's worth it. There's enough capacity now, sincerely, not so. I can really go and look after babies now and all sorts of things. But I think the investments that many of these projects, and in particular now, the funders of LIPS, I think it's really, really worth it. I can say with confidence. And also, while this has built your own skills, I think the faculty, the people arranging this, have learned a lot as well. You know, I, for one, have learned a lot. How to do what, how not to do what, you know, in capacity building. We've been doing, you know, short courses, a week's course or something like that. Nothing like this, you know, that took this amount of time. So when we first decided 15 weeks, I was like, will people study, you know? Moreover, you know, 15 weeks when they have to take time out of their own, you know, day-to-day life, how will it work? So there's a lot that we've learned on the journey. So again, we would not have learned all of these things if you hadn't given of yourselves, you know, to be guinea pigs, okay? But yeah, there's no way we would have learned, you know, what we have learned. So thank you so much. And also, it's one of the things that LIPS aims for. LIPS in full is learning together, you know, equity, evidence, something. But that learning aspect, okay? Meaning that whatever activity we take on, there's a learning component to it. And learning, for me, is not one way, you know? You can't really claim that you're the one who has. You're giving. That means you've closed your mind. There must be something you can get, you know? There must be something you can get back from, even if it's a child. Maybe then you learn how to look after children better, you know? So in my own case, but I also know the faculty because we've been speaking, they have learned a lot. From the feedback sessions yesterday, there was so much, and thank you for not holding back. There was so much that can help to make this better. So again, thank you for giving of yourselves. So I'll just end on that note of, you know, saying thank you, particularly to the trainees, you know, because then all this effort would have gone to waste, you know, if you're trying to sort of work with somebody and they're not coming along with you, then what you're giving is also not, you know, is not making that much sense. But for letting yourselves, you know, test the waters, as an adult, it's very difficult. Each time you make a mistake, you're like, okay, let me just leave it. People will think I'm stupid or what, you know, let me leave it, you know. It's very easy to just let go of things. So thank you for not letting go halfway, and for really allowing yourselves to go through this. Thank you to the policy makers. Hey, let's give these guys a hand clap. To be able to stick, you know the things we talk about, policymakers don't have time, what. And it's true, they don't, you know. There's so much that they have to sort of deal with on a day-to-day basis that we know and don't know. Probably 90% we don't know, we just know the 10%. But for them to commit the way they've committed, I haven't seen it in any of the trainings we've done before. The commitment was easy before because it was 1 week. You know, work with these people for 1 week, tell them your question, you know, the week ends. That's so much easier. But to walk a journey where even the people you're working with don't know where they are going, but you come along, let's go together. I really, really want to appreciate the policy makers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Of course, the trainers and the faculty. Thank you, you know. Thank you for me. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Again, you know, at the beginning, and there are some that are not here, especially the ones that came in, like, you know, on the weekly studying and all of that. Some of these are faculty that people, you know, they shocked me. There's a friend of mine, I don't know which session he gave, a shares session. What's that? Policy communication. Do you know what people do to try and get share? He is impossible to get on a day-to-day basis. There is another one that will come into level 2, Paul. You know, for them to actually agree, they will look at what it is you're trying to do. Does it make sense? Is it worth their time? Because their time is called on like every minute. And so they will choose. They will say, I honestly can't. And they'll say it in a nice way, maybe even sending you to somebody else. So when they say yes, either what they have looked at in terms of content is worth them adding their time, or they can see potential in the people that they're trying to work with, in the trainees or something like that, okay? So I just want to say there's something that you guys have done, or, but also thank you to the faculty for really looking for that kind of world-class content to make sure that it's not for the sake that, you're just learning, there's this lecture, there's this, I don't know what, but to make sure that you're actually getting from the best. So thank you again to the faculty. I know how much they're working in the background, how much they have to input, how they have to rethink things, or we were going to do it this way, but I think it doesn't make sense since yesterday this, it's not even that they're reviewing on a monthly basis, it's on a daily basis, okay? And where they might have made mistakes, they're learning on the journey as well. So, but still, thank you so much, faculty, thank you, trainers, the support. How many emails did you get from Sarah, like, whether it's reminders or whatever. So Sarah and team, thank you so much as well. This would not have happened. It's one thing putting together content. It's a whole other thing, being able to administer it in an efficient way, keeping documentation of everything we're doing. His Excellency Tiaba, thank you so much. Some of us were not here, but we're seeing the nice pictures. They usually look like something is going on, like there's glitter in all of them. I don't know, but thank you so much. And of course, our funders are not here, but I would really just want to say thank you. We started off with a budget, and our thinking was in a certain sort of direction. And then we realized that to really make quality, we will need to do more than we have planned. We had to go back and ask for more money. Funders don't like those things. Were you not planning? Were you not thinking before? But they listened to us. And they said, all right, no problem. And they gave us what we were asking for at the time. But I think they thought about it and they said, but you know what? Do they really think that will also be enough? And they offered some more without us asking, to ensure that we can see this through to a point where we also are proud of what comes out. They're also proud of it. But to also find a funder who's really flexible and listens to your small mistakes and says, no, it's all right, I understand, I'll give you, but I will also give you, is not very easy. And the Hewlett Foundation and IDRC, the other day I was thinking about who actually supports evidence-informed decision-making research. There are very few, at least in that space, there are very few, but also those who have walked that journey for a long time. The IDRC has been in that space for more than 20 years. They saw before the others saw. The others are coming in a little later, but they have been very consistent about ensuring that evidence gets into decision making. And they're one of the funders that we're working with. So we're really grateful. And we will certainly take that message back and tell them things were really worth it. Haven't I spoken like for an hour? It was supposed to be a few minutes. But thank you so much is the note that I want to end on. I think everybody, I'm just proud. I'm proud, I'm happy, the food, everything, yes. Okay, and of course, all the spaces where we've used for training, this hotel, back, Esela, we've worked with them for a long time. Again, we'll take our thanks back. But thank you, and thank you.